Hello up there. My name is Dari. I'm going to welcome you back to our posture workshop. This session 3, is focusing on your pelvis. You will need a block. If you do not have a block at home, you can use a towel folded up or something firm like that. Whatever you can find around your house will be fine. A ball would work, something small. So we're going to take this with us. And before we get down onto the mat, I want you to put your hands on your hips and just stand with your feet right underneath your hip joints. When I say stand hip width, what I mean is that you're standing as wide as your hip joints, not the outsides of your thighs, which would be a little bit wider, but where the joint actually is inside your body. And it should travel down right through your pointer toe and big toe. So you should have that alignment in your hips. Now, with your hands on your hips, just go ahead and grip your waist and see if you notice any differences from side to side. You might have one hip higher than the other. You might have been told that you have a leg longer, one leg longer leg, which is possible. And you might be twisted a little bit. My body tends to like to rotate to the right, so I have to work at rotating to the left. And all of that adds to wear and tear in your pelvis that we want to control. So just take note of how you feel right now, and then we'll do some assessments afterwards. Go ahead and sit down on the floor. We are going to lie all the way down on our backs. And before we get started, plant your feet so that your fingertips can feel your heels. So they're pretty close to you. Push your bum up in the air and slide that block underneath. So it's right there under your sacrum. And then just let your hands flop open, palms to the sky. Here is where you're going to feel a little bit of a stretch in your low back. We want to release the tension in the low back. This is great if you have low back pain, just from overtired muscles. But I want you here to place your hands on your abdomen so you can feel the relationship between your pubic bone all the way up to the bottoms of your ribs in a nice straight line. So take a nice big inhale. Exhale, blow it all out. Inhale. Exhale, blow it all out. Inhale. Exhale, blow it all out. Drop your hands back to the sides. Plop your hands open to the sky. Now, notice in your sacrum, take a little rock side to side. Do you have one side that maybe is a little pinchy or twangy? You feel a little something off one side to the other? Then this is an indication, or can be an indication, that you have one weak side and a dominant side. So just take note of that. Now pick your hips up, remove your block, plop yourself back down, and you should still be able to touch your heels. Now get your shoulders underneath you, looking straight at the ceiling. We're going to inhale and get ready. Exhale, pull your belly button tight, and you want to lift your pubic bone up towards your rib cage. And inhale and go back to neutral. Exhale. This is called imprint. Inhale, let it go. Now try to do this without using the power of your legs. Your abdominals are shortening that space and lengthening that space. So your abdomen is what's moving you. Those are your moving muscles, not back here. Those should be like jello for now. And relax. So as we exhale and scoop our belly out, we're tilting our pelvis backwards, which is a posterior tilt, which is very common in people in their posture. Now, as we let that go, I want you to extend and drop your tailbone heavy and even pick up a little bit in your stomach. So that now your pelvis is tilted forward. This is very common if you have weak abdominals, and a lot of people who have low back pain carry themselves like this. Now rock back and try to find a space between those two extremes. So here's the one extreme. Here's the other extreme. Where is neutral in all of that? That's what we want to train for. Now let's turn our hands over and place them on the mat. Spread your fingers wide. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, pull your belly button down. Find that imprint position. Now you get to use your legs. Push up. Find a long straight line. Our goal is to have a line from our knees through our hips all the way to our shoulders where they contact the floor. Inhale at the top. Now exhale, roll back down, but keep your shoulders on the floor. Roll down. Find neutral. Inhale again. Exhale, roll up. Find that straight line. Inhale. And exhale, roll down, shoulders back, shoulders back. Let's do that twice more, but with the block. So grab your block or your towel, whatever you have, put it between your knees. Find your position. I want you to squeeze that block a little bit. You're going to feel your adductors turn on, those muscles between your legs that bring your legs together, and your pelvic floor, which is super important in guys too, not just women, but super important to have a strong pelvic floor so that your pelvis is stable. So exhale, imprint, roll it up. Inhale at the top. Exhale again to roll down your spine. Tailbone is last. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, roll up. Inhale at the top. Now push your shoulders into the floor and roll down as you exhale. Find neutral. Perfect. Okay. Get rid of the block. We're going to roll up a second time. And this time, put your hands here on your hips. Push into the floor with your right foot. Lift up your left foot and see if your hips stay even. Switch. Push and stabilize with your left foot. Pick up your right. You feel that in your low back, your muscles really have to work to keep you steady. You can feel it in your abdominals. Your obliques are working. And just march back and forth and see if you can maintain even hips. What we don't want to see is dropping. So pick your hips up so they stay put. There we go. Let's lift a little higher and roll ourselves down. Fabulous. Let's hop up. And we're going to do some hip hiking. This is really common in people who feel a little off. You're going to stand on the block with one foot, okay? And the second leg is just going to come up and you can hold it wherever you want it. You're going to lift and lower. Hike the hip up and drop it. You'll feel this in this standing leg, in this working leg, on the outside, in your glute medius and in your TFL, those side muscles, your side bum. Hike, down, hike, down. Good. Switch sides. This happens a lot when we get tired and we stand like this. Pop a hip. A lot of people stand like that. You'll notice them. They're everywhere in the grocery store. Okay, lift up, hike, drop, hike, drop. These are all ranges of motion that are available to you. I just want you to understand how to control them so that you have choices. You can choose how you're standing. But if you're not even aware, then you don't have any choices. Good. Take a lift off. For our last little hip awareness exercise, I want you to stand with your hands on your waist. So you grip your hips. Send your hips back. Look straight down between your toes with a nice straight back. So don't let your shoulders fall forward. So nice straight back. Now from here, we're going to imprint, like we're going to imprint up into the ceiling and then drop it and lift your tailbone. So we're doing these pelvic rocks, but standing. If you've done much Pilates, you've done pelvic rocks, I'm sure. But we're doing this standing so that you can start to understand how it works in your posture. Now find neutral. Use your stomach and hold it really strong. Come all the way upright. So you should have a nice neutral pelvis here. Let's talk about why we do this. Your pelvis is the link between the ground and your upper body. You have all these muscles that crisscross and twist around your abdominals that hold your ribs right over your pelvis. If your pelvis is tipped either way or hiked either way, then you are making more work for your muscles to hold your rib cage where they should be. If you're nice and neutral and there's no tipping or hiking, then your ribs can just balance on top. It's like that Jenga tower. If they are stacked correctly, then they stay standing with no problem and with less effort. If something's a little off, it takes more work to stay up. Thank you for joining me today for session 3 on our pelvis. In our next session, we're going to talk about your feet, which are the glue. So we really got to pay attention to our feet, which is often skipped over. So join me for our next session, but we will talk about feet. Thank you. See you soon.